Alright, the next person is going to come up. The parents are actually anxiously waiting for him. He's a very new addition to the comedy scene, but a very good one. So please give it up for Anuj Velanka.
Hi everyone, we okay? Everyone's okay? Yes? Firstly, thank you. Thank you to all of you for coming. It's been a great journey. I'm so glad you're all part of it for me here. This is a big night for me. It's a big night. My wife's watching. And this is one of the few occasions where I perform better when she's watching me. So it's good. It's good she's here. Just for the record, everything wife-related which I mentioned here does not happen, right? I mean, please don't hold it against her. My parents are here. Thank you so much for giving them a clap. I mean, they're wonderful people. Very lucky for me. I mean, literally, I am here because of them. But that's my first parent sex joke. But they have always been supportive, right? So, and they take great pride in what I do, and they tell people about it. So, if you had asked them, say, 15 years back, what's Anuj doing? They would be like, Anuj, Anuj, he's works on ship. He's a captain, and big ships out at sea. And 5 years back, if you ask them, they would be like, Anuj, he does something in insurance. He insures these ships and all. And now, since I started doing comedy and this stuff, people ask them and they're like, Anuj, his brother is in IT. Speaking of brothers, just for the other people who wouldn't know, Anuj means younger brother. Let that sink in. My name means younger brother. Right? Any younger siblings in the room? Younger brothers or sisters? Yeah. I see a few people, shy people like younger. Do you by any chance feel like your elder sibling in the house is the VIP and you're generally so it's just not me. Right? So imagine, let me give you one tip, right? One tip. Younger brother to younger brother and other siblings, right? If for any chance you want to hack your parents' email, bank account, utility bill, change their last will and testament, here is the password, right? The password is name of your elder sibling, year of birth of your elder sibling. That is it. If it does not work, if it does not work, try the parent's dog, try the parent's cat, try the neighbor's son. Your name will not be there. The problem is you need to remember the name when you're typing the password. You're like, honey, what is you remember our first offspring? Yeah, such a light of my eyes. No. Who was the one afterwards? Write it down somewhere. Just change your password. That's all I have.
I will change it to your name.
But this is the problem. You see, for a spectacular parenting, it just seems a little lazy stuff to name me Anuj. So here is how I see it happening. Rewind a few decades back, right? There they are. Their first sibling is being born. Naturally, there are doves floating around, and there's a rainbow, and then my loving parents look down at this and first child, and light is glowing out of his face, and they look at him and they say, hereby we proclaim that this child shall be known as Ajit, which means a person who can't be defeated. And And then 2-3 years later, naturally as a 3-year-old, he must be playing some Beethoven's Fifth Symphony in the school. So in the lunch break, we have me, right? And then they look at me, and I'm like, hey, is everybody okay? And Dad looks at me and he says, do you see anything? And then Mom is like, you know what? No, tell me. He looks like the younger brother of somebody who can't be defeated. Excellent. And it gives me trouble because inevitably everybody calls me that. You know? Think about between us. So I'm having, say, an intimate moment with my wife, right? And right at the peak of what we are doing, she suddenly starts calling out for her younger brother. I know people back there, they like that stuff. Look, I'm not judging. We all have some tabs in our Internet Explorer in our private setting. You know? It's okay. But I mean, which is why she calls me daddy, by the way. That is all right. First one is weird. That's just weird. Daddy is okay. Well, I'm kidding. We never have sex anyway. Enough of sex jokes. My wife said, and this is the thing. She said, all you need to do is get on stage, make sex jokes. You know, don't you know? Singapore, everybody knows that Indians only have sex at Deepavali. And you go there, you know, it's June, July, you don't see, and you're making these Indian sex jokes. Who's going to believe you? You know, it looks like you're taking some Angmo's script and flogging it. These people, I just saw 2 of them go off to the bathroom. You never know what's going on there. Yeah, Indians behave like them. I'm like, okay, but we need to, you know, talk to people about this. Because apart from sex at Deepavali, Indians also do it during birthdays. It is a fact. You know? So it is particularly tough for me because my birthday is in September. My wife's in October. Diwali is in November. I'm just saying the second half of the year is a little tough on me. And we are already in June. This year is flying by, and before you know it, you see, just like Ram, I also touched 40 recently. So I have to take it a little slow. I realized that because when I turned 40, I had a full-on midlife crisis, right? No, I mean, I did. And what I did from that was that I actually went up into the Himalayas, did a solo trek for a fortnight, right in one of the furthest reaches of Uttarakhand, which is the Indian side of the Himalayas. And there are a lot of people who are curious about it, like how did it work out, what happened? And one of the main queries I get, mainly from my friends, is this: Anuj, very good. The question we want to know is, how did your wife allow you to go? So this is probably a very Indian question. And I just want to ask, anyone here who's been married more than 10 years? Really? So I want to later compare notes because generally my theory is this: after about 10-12 years of marriage, wives generally stop asking where you're going. The questions are more like, where are you coming from? And do you know what time it is? Something weird with watches in the house. But the thing was, the main thing which might surprise you, the objection of my going came from my daughter. So now she's this 10-year-old, came to Singapore when she was 15 months. So all she knows about is Singapore, right? Apart from the grandparents' visits and stuff like that. So she said, Dad, you're not going. No way you're going. I was like, okay, why? Yeah. So as a matter of curiosity, non-Indian people in the room who have gone to India, anyone? People who aren't from, my God, none of you have gone to India. Oh, okay, one. Okay, but you're not really from Singapore, but fine, at least somebody went. Anybody else? Actually, we have like one non-Indian. So my daughter was right. Because here is what she told me, right? I said, you need to tell me why. Because, this is irrational. I'm already making an irrational decision, but at least I have an excuse. I am going through a midlife crisis. You are 10, what's your excuse? So she's like, Dad, once you go to India, you don't return. You come back. And I'm like, who told you? He said, no, everybody in Singapore knows. If you go to India, you don't come back. And I can see all the Singaporeans who have gone out there. You see, none of them returned. You're from Switzerland, sir.
Yeah.
That's why, because a lot of Indians, we have Switzerland links, That's where we put all our money. That's why I think you got through. So, I went full on Breaking Bad on her, Walter White. I said, babes, do you think I am in danger? I am the danger. No, I'm the one who knocks. I don't go to a MRT or a public bus and worry about people's body odor. I am the one with the body odor. You can't phase me out. I don't think she got the reference, but she did let me go. So something about body odor must have struck. But it was a magical moment. I mean, I had so much fun out there. Amazing. Just me, my guide. And a few days into the trek, because this was obviously totally unresearched, unprepared, the only way I could prepare for that trek was by finding the highest point in Singapore, which is Bukit Timah Nature Reserve. Which also, I must tell you, is much harder than it looks like. Anybody here has gone up Bukit Timah Nature Reserve? It is not as easy as you would think. And the guide I went was this guy called Sri Nand Mamgai, right? Very nice chap. But he seemed, through a few days into the trek, he seemed to lack the qualities of a good guide. I mean, I'm going through this really beautiful stuff, and I'm like, this bird suddenly floats by, and actually you don't know what bird it is. I'm like, Srinanji, what is that bird? He's like, sir, that bird is a very nice bird. I'm like, okay, you can't dispute that, right? That's like an empirical fact. Then I'm the same, because when you're reading it, you're Ruskin Bond and stuff. You're looking at these guys walking through forests of deodar trees and stuff. So you want to know what hashtag to put on your Instagram photos and stuff. And nothing. These are just nice trees. That's a nice lake, and something was wrong. And here's the thing. That part of the Himalayas is known for the grass, wheat, right? We need to talk about this slowly in Singapore. But that is probably where the best part is. Srinand's house had these plants growing all over the place, right? And so here's a thing with Srinand is that he was the type of person who was a recreational user of illicit substance on the boundary of legal stuff. People slightly, I think in Singapore, you call them Malays. sorry, that was my one and only Malay jokes. That is it, I'm no more race. So, the thing with good weed is, because you see, it's like you're in France. Everywhere is like grapes and vines, right? So, the thing is, I would assume that's where it comes from. I'm more a gin guy. But now, in France, you need to go to the good vineyards. So, because weed is growing everywhere in there, you need to go to the people with the best stuff, right? And the best stuff are these sadhus, these people who are hermits, they disciple followers of Lord Shiv. So they are the ones with the best quality. And what happened through the time was that as I went, what I was doing essentially was Mr. Srinan would take me along from one temple sadhu to the next temple sadhu. And full disclosure, I have never had weed before. And I'm sitting with him, and he would start talking with them, and they would start making tea, and at the same time they have this chillam thing, and he's making these chillams and they're rubbing it, and then they start smoking up, and I'm looking at this, I'm like, this is where the SWAT team comes in, in this Himalayan thing, and they're talking about stuff. And here's the thing, I honestly, I don't know if second-hand weed smoke can get you high. But I'm just sitting to them, listening, while surrounded by this beautiful things, and they're talking about such esoteric things. They're talking, like the goddess Ganges, she fell from the sky, but she was in a Rudra roop, like agitated and angry mood. So Lord Shiv, he took her into his locks, and there she thrashed around wildly for like 1,000 years. And I'm like, whoa, that's good, man. And then I'm like, then we slowly over the time, I'm saying, Srinanji, nice tree, huh? Nice tree, sir, nice tree. But the best sadhu we met was the one without any weed. So there's this place called Ashtimuni Ashram, and at Ashtimuni Ashram, just before that, there's this, imagine this scene, right? There's this beautiful waterfall and a stream flowing in front of like an overhanging rock. Can't exactly call it a cave, but it's become a de facto cave. And in here was this sadhu who had been there for 8 years, right? Last 3 years, he has stopped wearing clothes. So he's without clothes. We come there, bearded, and like we are there like Indiana Jones searching for some wisdom. And he looks at us out of, to protect his modesty from us or whatever. He wraps himself in an orange shawl and he calls us in. And we are sitting there in his cave, and sunlight is coming through. It's turning afternoon, evening. And there he is sitting and he's brewing his tea, and his tea is, not one of those Lipton teas. He's like putting, I don't know where he's putting, I just hope it was not weed. Because he told Srinanji, he's like, Srinanji, I know why you have come here, no weed. And Srinanji is like, oh, and then he's like, damn. Because this is the thing, when Srinan and that sadhu would be smoking it up, I think Srinan would judge how good the quality it was. Then he would tell me, sir, 500 rupees. And I'm like, I'm paying for his dope, So Srinan was like, okay, I'm not even coming here. You pay what you want, sort of a look, He was like that. And this guy, imagine light pouring from one side of his face, smoke coming up, and this guy is talking to me, and like beard and stuff, and he's going on, about life. And I asked him, Guruji, what is the meaning of life? And he told me the meaning. I won't tell you because it's not funny. Serious stuff, guys. Wait for my TED talk. But at the end of it, I said, Guruji, we need to go because we were going up to a shepherd's hut, right? And that was about 7 kilometers away. So he said, okay, Anuj, thank you and all. Now I am leaving, right? And Srinanji doesn't want me to give him money, right? So I felt I had to give him something. But, this is the guy who doesn't have anything. Even I can't even give him like an underwear. So whatever. So there he is, and I asked him, because I have these torches. I've taken it to, in my mind, midlife crisis. I'm thinking I'll give it to school children and do something. It never happened. But I said, Guruji, I know material things are beyond your purview. But I have this torch, maybe in your cave it might. He was like, oh, Anuj, thank you. And as I was leaving, he reached out to me. I said, Anuj. And I said, yes, Guruji. He went somewhere, took a piece of paper and gave it to me. I said, thank you, Guruji. He said, Anuj, this is my WhatsApp number. So about 6 kilometers away, I go up, there I get signal, right? And then we can video chat on WhatsApp if you want. So, then I realized that, whether you are disconnected from life, you can go, you can, leave, even stop wearing clothes. Getting away from WhatsApp be a problem. But actually, that's it. I'm going to end on a high, guys. Thank you so much for your time, and I hope we continue to have fun here. Thank you, everyone.
Hey, give it up for Anuj, everybody.